6 news conference with Southern Miss head coach Christian Ostrander and Slade Wilkes. Coach will make an opening statement, and then we will go into questions for both. Coach?
Yeah, first, just want to congratulate Coach Vitello and his staff in Tennessee on the championship, and best luck to them moving forward. Very good ball club, obviously. So, just proud of our guys. Long day today, and came out and played a really good game against Indiana earlier today, and and got a chance to keep playing, and knew it was going to be tough, and thought our guys fought. Just ran out of gas a little bit there at the end, but nothing to be ashamed of for sure. And I know these guys, they got a lot to be proud of.
Questions? We'll start second row on the left there.
This one's for Slade. Just kind of touch on just your time as a Golden Eagle, just kind of the impact it's had on you personally, how much fun you've had, things of that nature.
It's it feels like a short 4 years. It's something that's been a lot of fun. I've been a lot of part of great baseball teams, won a lot of baseball games, but the friendships and the brothers I've made for life is something that's going to stick with me.
Coach, obviously not the way you wanted it to end, but how do you think your first year went with the resume that you have off of this season?
I'm just very thankful. I've been surrounded by a great group of young men like Slade and all those guys, and everybody associated with this program. Every coach, trainer, SID, AD, chaplain, everything. It's special, and there's a culture at Southern Miss that we're very proud of, and it's our job to continue that and further it. And I thought these guys did a great job of doing that this year. Obviously, you don't ever want it to end. It's like I told them at the end of the game, and I wasn't ready for it's over speech because it didn't feel like it would ever end. And just a special group, and I'm very thankful, to have these guys, in my life, and very proud of them.
Slade, what just impressed you the most out of Oz in his first season as the head coach?
You could tell that, a saying that he uses a lot, he ran to the fire. He wasn't afraid of, I don't know if afraid is the right word, but, he was ready. And, it's something that he's been working his whole life for. It's something, he expresses that to us. And, USM baseball's in good hands.
Christian, obviously you guys saw the Tennessee lineup last year. What makes this edition of Tennessee different, maybe more dangerous, 1-9 than what they had last year?
Well, they got more experience. Those guys that were in it last year coming back, they just got another level of experience and maturity, and it's just very long. It's a long lineup. It's there's you can't catch your breath. You got to execute, and and if you give them a little bit of something, they can hurt you, man, because they can do so many things. It's just a very, very, very good lineup, and very good program, very good team, and they're going to be a handful for whoever catches them next for sure.
Oz, just kind of looking forward to the future. Just what do you think or what do you hope to maybe look at in the off season of what you guys might need to, take the next step, and just kind of, I guess, what are you looking for to add to this roster?
Well, you're going to lose, a guy like Slade that's, kind of the oak tree in the middle of that lineup, and stuff with the power numbers and what he brings. So it's hard to replace that, and so forth. So we're gonna attack it. We're gonna see where we're at with things. We've got a good recruiting class coming in. We're very excited about. There'll probably be a few more pieces that we continue to add, but we're just trying to make it the best we can, and so forth. It's a program built on development. It's a program that's been built upon getting great young men out of high school like Slade and so many others, and help them to grow and mature, and we'll continue to do that. But also in this day and age, there's some ways to get pieces quicker, and so forth. So we're gonna do a good job of that. The biggest thing for us is it's got to be the right person. It's got to be the right player, not just stats. Because when you have a strong culture, the last thing you want to do is disrupt that.
Oz, I wonder, just for you personally, is there anything you think you've learned throughout this season, just in your first year in this spot?
Absolutely. I'm no different than a player. Every game you learn something. Every season, whatever it might be. So, I knew the expectations that were here coming into it, and I embraced it. That's what you work your whole career for and what you want, and so forth. So absolutely learned a lot, and I'm sure there'll be some things you try to tweak, add, do something different, whatever it might be with your time management and stuff like that. But the biggest thing is just going to work every day and being very blue collar and just working hard and trying to find the identity and the pulse of every team that you have.
Coach, you talk a lot about the tradition of Eckerd Slide. Added to that, just the rich tradition this program has. Watching Slade grow in front of your eyes, how has he represented that logo on his hat, just in all his time here?
As good as anybody we've had, in my opinion. He's from the moment he stepped on campus to now, he's just done things right. He's a fabulous human being. He's going to be successful in life just because of his character, his morals, his values and stuff. So, guys like Slade are special, and we have several of those. We've been very fortunate to have several of those come through the program, and so you recruit character along with talent, and I think Slade epitomizes that. That's exactly what he was.
What do you think just kind of changed after that fifth inning? You guys go up 3-2 in that Ozzie Pratt double, and then kind of they just
couldn't keep him in the park. Pretty plain and simple. I mean, we had too many freebies tonight. I know that. That's something we don't like, and you can't do that against that lineup, and because they're going to get their hits, they're going to get the ball up in the air and have a chance to drive it out. So you got to try to really minimize the freebies and stuff. And the guys competed, every one of them, and so forth. And I know they gave the best effort, and it just wasn't enough tonight. And but again, nothing to be ashamed of.
Any other questions? Two more right here.
Coach, just staying on the pitching side, there's been a lot of youth, a lot of depth this year, but injuries. But when you assess just the young pitchers, how they performed this season, what's your assessment of guys like Colby Allen, JB, stuff like that?
Feel good about it. I think we got a great nucleus coming back. I think we got a lot of arms and players, all together coming back with a lot of experience. Starting this year where there wasn't that case. So I think there's some experience, and this was a building block. What they've done, this year, for the future. So we feel good about it, and look forward to what's next, and we'll start preparing for that pretty much when we get back to Hattiesburg.
Scott kind of took my question, but speaking to the youth, he had even Lawson behind the plate, young guy. He didn't play that position in high school, but it seems like those guys grew from week one to where they're at now. I mean, playing in an environment like this, Sun Belt tournament, and then Knoxville Regional, what does that really do for a young person?
I think it's very important. I think it gives them confidence. They've been in that moment. So next time when we're in that moment, it's not going to be sped up or whatever. Not that they were now, but I think that's just experience. That you gain from every moment that you have and every opportunity that you have. But that's the biggest thing that I'm on behalf of all of our coaches that we're so proud of. I thought there was a lot of growth this year. Physically. Emotionally, maturity-wise, and just all that stuff, and that's all you can hope for. It's just guys get better and grow as the season progresses.
Last one right here.
Slade, I'm just curious what your thought process was when you stepped up to the plate there and you get that single to extend your hitting streak.
I was just trying to get my swing off. I saw the score. I figured it was probably the last time in this uniform, and just really try to soak it all in, and just got a pitch that I could hit, and yeah.
What's it been like being a captain of this team throughout the season? It's been a dream come true. It's something that I've worked for, and I looked up to captains when I was a freshman, and it was like I wanted to lead like they did because they did it the right way. And, I hope that's something that people say about me is I did it the right way. And, it's just a position that I've been very grateful for, and something I didn't take lightly.
Thank you, gentlemen, and congratulations on an outstanding season.
Thank you very much.
We're joined by Tennessee head coach Tony Vitello, catcher Cal Stark, and center fielder Hunter Inslee. Coach will make an opening statement, and then we will take questions for both. Raise your hand and we will pass a mic back to you. Coach?
Yeah, congrats to our players. They've worked hard. Also, congrats to everybody that was a part of our regional tournament. Some gritty efforts from a young team we just played, a team we played last night that had a lot of injuries. and then a team that's probably doubted by many, for various reasons in Northern Kentucky, but won't be their last regional anytime soon. So we're very appreciative of the fact we were able to survive or win the tournament. First thing with this game tonight, deserve a shout out to Vamos Vols. For those that were at the game know why. Our guys in the dugout know that. But overall, all the fans were outstanding. Every time I get critical when I'm kind of watching, like, why wouldn't, I don't know why our guys got to clap their hands for Billy in the dugout, but every fan should. It's like, why isn't everybody doing that? Well, everybody's doing it tonight, and other little adjustments. It's just fun to see, like I talked last night, the whole thing evolve, and it certainly helps our efforts and makes it an advantage to play at home. The game started out to me with a little extra tension, which was very frustrating, and I probably added it to it, which detracted from our play, but we were also seeing a good arm. We recruited that kid. We liked that kid a lot out of high school in Middleton, and he's improved, and he's certainly well coached. So it's not like things were easy, but there was a little tension there interfering, and I know the next inning they score, but whatever happened there with Xander seemed to kind of flip the script a little bit, and everybody decided if this guy's going to get hit with a line missile and stay out here and compete and also be willing to kind of have that Xander smile like he all does, then we should probably relax a little bit, but also compete the way that he is. And again, I think it flipped a little bit. And then giving the ball off to Snead, neither of those two guys are the ones that are in here, but they very easily could be. They did an outstanding job and made it easier on our offense tonight.
We'll start on the left with Eric, then Ben.
Cal, obviously a really good day at the plates, 2 home runs. What was your approach going into those ABs, and kind of were you looking for a specific pitch?
Really just trying to slow everything down. The crowd was good tonight, so kind of just control my breathing, slow everything down, and then look for just something that I can handle and hit hard, and just try and put a good swing on it both at bats.
Tony, over here to your left, what did you see with your team battling through adversity there with that bottom of the 5th inning, and what allowed them to kind of throw a punch back rather quickly there in the top of the 6th with KT's big swing?
Yeah, I've been a part of really good teams. We had every reason, you could call it an excuse if you want, but we had every incentive, reason, whatever you want to call it, to make it a day long of tension, frustration. Why not this? This could have went our way. I just drove that ball all the way to the wall. It didn't go over the fence. But this team is pretty mature. I think Billy had really mature answers when kind of asked about our team in particular and what the approach is. And I think it's a balanced lineup, a balanced pitching staff, but it's also a balanced mindset, which makes things easier on us. And sometimes we just got to check ourselves as coaches and make sure we're in line with these guys' personality. But with every rep we get in situations like this, this was not a 12-3 game. We kind of pulled away there at the end, but there was some good experience in each of those 3 games that we had that I think can help prepare us for things that are ahead.
In the second row, can you move your phone? It's in the shop. Thank you. We'll continue with Ryan up front here.
Cal, what does it say about Xander? Not only did he work around that line drive, but some defensive mistakes behind him, and kept showing a really good spot when he had to.
I think it just shows what type of teammate he is. He's a tough guy. He's going to go out there and compete. And whenever something like that kind of just doesn't go his way, he's going to have every one of our backs. Just put his best step forward, keep making pitches, and just competing as a whole.
Sam in row 3, then Mike up front.
Tony, Cal has new career highs in basically every category this season. How have you seen him grow? Also less games this season. How have you seen him grow this year? And then for him to have 2 home runs tonight, to have the home run that broke, set the new Tennessee home run record. How special is that?
Yeah, there's been growth there for 4 years of his college career. It's why we recruited him, is what his junior college coaches had to say about him. It's a great program he comes from, and we have a good relationship with those guys. And they were his biggest advertisers. And one of those things was he's going to meet challenges head on. And so we could dissect why he's gotten better offensively or why he's gotten better over the course of 4 years. But I think they all fall under the umbrellas. He meets challenges head on, whether it's to be better offensively than he was last year, to understand that we feel like we're as deep as anybody in the country at that catching position. But he obviously wants to be the guy that's out there the most. Dealing with Coach Anderson and his ridiculous standards every day. He's met any challenge you can imagine head on, and so he's improved from it.
For Hunter and Cal, is this maybe as complete a weekend offensively from top to bottom in the lineup as you guys have had in a while?
Yeah, I thought for all 3 games, it was pretty complete. Definitely a few things we could go back and do better for sure, but I thought for the 3-game series that we had, did a lot right, but definitely some to improve on.
Casey in row 3.
Coach, how does having guys like Cal and Dean in the bottom of the order really help elevate this team to another level?
It just makes it another section. Can't say it's the middle of the order because it's not the middle of the order, but it just makes it, they're all sections. I mean, Christian Moore is also not a leadoff hitter. So we've got pretty good sections in there. And Case, Dean got interviewed last night. The K-State game sticks out where Dean the offense revolved around his spot in the order. And I think he's maybe in the 6 hole or 8 hole that night. And it can vary from game to game. And certainly this weekend, we're talking about it being a complete weekend for the offense. It's kind of gone that way too, where Hunter's kind of in the middle, and sometimes it revolves around him. There's been plenty of nights where it revolves around Dylan. And again, the bottom line is I think everyone that we have in there, including Bradkey, not getting out of the way of a pitch that's dang near at his neck. Everybody in there is looking to make it difficult on the opponent. And then anyone in there certainly is capable of doing great things.
Back to Eric.
Hunter, knowing that the job's not done, you still have more things you want to accomplish this year. Tonight was just one step in the right direction. Kind of what was the message post game from Coach Vitello or just from you leaders on the team?
Yeah, I think
Right
it's
here, by the way, so be careful.
enjoy this one for the night. I guess until we get out of here, and then back to work tomorrow or whatever schedule we got this week. But there's a lot to do for the rest of the week to get better for this weekend regarding who we play. I don't really feel like it matters right now, but really just get back focused come tomorrow and be ready for the weekend.
Ryan, front right.
Tony, Hunter, I think entering game 3 at Ford was hitting 236. He's now hitting 290. Just at that point, what was your confidence level that he would be able to find this extra gear and kind of get back to more what he was at the plate last year?
Yeah, I mean, I just don't. He's already shown, and maybe there is. I always say tie goes to the runner, which I don't even know if that's the rule, but I'm as for competition as anybody. But when you do have experience, and we know truly what you can do in games, it does give you an edge. And based off what he did for us last year in so many different situations, you can't erase that. So, and I personally don't invest in some of those numbers that y'all pay attention to, and you should, but we kind of pay attention to certain things that are just always there, whether it be taking charge in the outfield, being able to be one of the better center fielders in the country defensively, being an aggressive and really good base runner, and being a fighter at the plate. The numbers will kind of work themselves out if you're in there competing your butt off. I kind of wanted to go to Chuck for Billy, but I'm like, it'd be nice for Billy to get a hit. I'm sure he wanted one. But we're not sitting here doing this interview. We probably have to play again tomorrow without Billy, but he didn't necessarily get a hit tonight. So that stuff will fluctuate a little bit. But if you have the right approach out there, plus some ability, then we're investing in you for sure.
Ben, then Page.
Hunter, what would you say has been the biggest difference for you over the last month? And then Tony, if you don't mind, just speaking to Dean and his weekend, pretty consistent at the plate. Just what do you see for him, especially as a freshman in this moment?
Sure.
Yeah, I think for me the last month is just really going up there and trying to make everything a little bit more simple. Not really overthinking the box, just calm down, relax, and try and catch the barrel on it. Also, I've been doing a little better approach-wise, so I think that's helped me for, I guess, the last 20 games or so.
Yeah, and I didn't mean to scare my man here. We didn't say much in the outfield because the fans were going nuts and these guys felt good, but the tournament's over with. The guys had some kind of sign or something and they won it. So kind of like Hoover, they should take pride in it, confidence, and certainly enjoy it. I think sometimes when you work real hard like these guys do, you don't take a moment to enjoy it and be appreciative of the people that helped get you there. But next weekend's kind of a fresh start for both teams. It'll be in Knoxville. And it is a new tournament. It's got a different label. It's called Super Regional, but now it's a weekend series. And it's one of the reasons why everybody in the country, not just the SEC, takes pride in their conference series and how competitive they can get. And Dean is certainly competitive, but he's also very mature. He's just a unique guy. I mean, some of his comments you don't make unless You've got a lot of wit, and you're comfortable in your own skin, and you're mature. And I'm speaking on some comedic things he says, but also some things he says about the game. And I love this state, but SoCal produces a lot of good baseball, and he's from there. He played at a high level, was around a lot of really good people, and he comes from a phenomenal family, and all those things are a part of his pedigree, which we're reaping the benefit of that for sure.
This is for Hunter and Cal. Obviously, what Christian Moore does offensively is on another level, but maybe he's not getting his flowers, let's say, on defense. But he's made some pretty decisive plays this weekend. From your all's perspective, can you just describe kind of just the defensive player that he is and the plays he made this weekend?
I told him after the double play that this weekend he looked a little bit like Robinson Cano out there. And I think I heard it on his own interview on Rally Cap, but that's who he kind of reminded me of this weekend. He was just flashing the leather all weekend, making a lot of diving plays that sometimes it seems like he's just a little bit short on, but I thought this weekend he was phenomenal on the defensive side.
What is Rally Cap?
Rally Cap.
Okay. Okay.
Cal, did you have anything?
No, I think he puts a lot of work into it to become better and better each and every day. So I think that work is kind of starting to show off. Making those plays is not an easy thing. You can't really practice the plays that he'd been making, like the jump throw or dive and play. It's just kind of reactionary and just a pure skill. So it's just,
KT's had one of those, sorry, but I'm glad you pointed that out because that'll be a part of our meeting when we meet on Monday or Tuesday is the value you can add to a game without being the guy that's on Twitter or the guy that gets to wear a hat or whatever, he was incredible defensively tonight. And KT had a game like that where we didn't get much offensively at all, but he was incredible in the outfield, so good stuff.
Tony, you guys have been on a real hot streak, just the regional play the last few seasons. What do you attribute that to? Being able to go 3-0, 4 straight years in regional play?
I think each year is separate. Each weekend is separate, and we're so blessed when we're here. It is difficult on the opponent. Our guys, I think, put in a lot of extra reps and take a lot of pride in the fact this is their workplace. So being at home is one thing for sure. And then last year, I don't know, it was unique. I think that was a grudge match in game 2, and whoever was going to win that one was certainly going to have an edge. And, that game was wild. It could have gone either way. So like anything, I don't think there's one answer, but I do think each team is different. But we have been meeting in this room right now that's set up for media for 7 straight years. And the guys that came here in particular are second and third and fourth year set life up much, much better for these guys that are my left. And Ensley's buddies with some of those guys, but some of those guys set the tone. And they made some people angry and made some people question, like, what are we trying to do? And, what crazy stuff, just leave it at that. But what we're trying to do is get involved in this. Southern Miss has been doing this for 20 years. And so rather than knock on the door, some of these guys decided to try and kick the door in and and throw helmets and stuff like that, which not all the best, but it got these 2 guys to the left in a better position. So I think the last 3 years has been a compound effect too of some lessons learned and some things gained by other people that came before these guys.
West and Emily.
Cal, I think a lot of people talk about sort of the physical energy required to be a catcher and maybe how that can affect offense sometimes. What about the mental side of that? Tony mentioned it earlier, you talk to Frank and those guys and the pitchers every day, and scouting reports and all those things. Like, how much time in a given week do you have for working on your hitting and things like that?
I think we split it up a good bit. I have plenty of time to do both. It's fun to do both. Get to work with Coach A each and every day. It's a lot of fun. He's one of the best in the business for a reason. So getting to learn from him, and then also getting to learn from Coach Elander, each and every day, it just puts me in a better spot. Both, for out there on the field and in a mental state. Because this game is very hard, both, physically and mentally. So being able to work with both of those guys, it's pretty fun.
Tony, I don't know if you're aware, but in the 6th inning this season, your team has had so much success, and I know you guys don't really pay too much attention to numbers or anything, but 103 runs overall this season just in the 6th inning.
Why do you think it's so important and pivotal for your guys to really produce in that inning
Yeah.
specifically?
You guys are good baseball. You guys are coaching me up last night and tonight too, pointing stuff out. But immediately, that's a tough one to normally answer without research. But immediate response, I would say these guys are pretty good at trying to figure things out. And we talked about SEMO at some point with the media. I think with Ben McDonald was asking, he's a good athlete, but he's kind of a puzzle solver too. And so you've seen people turn over the pitching when our lineup turns over or change the pitching. And I think our other guys are like that too. Coach Elanders puts in a ton of hard work, scouting report wise. So I think middle of the game is usually when you need to make some adjustments and figure some things out. And that requires hard work, communication, and also the willingness to try and make some adjustments and figure things out. So I think there's something to that.
Last one to Ryan.
Tony, just kind of the same question I asked Cal earlier. What does it say about Sanders that he was able to work through all the adversity he faced today?
It says he's a hockey fan. I don't know if I should do it anymore. We usually kind of mess around at practice, and I use the fungo as a hockey stick, and he's the goalie. I actually hit him on the knee. He had a knee save the other day, so maybe we shouldn't do that anymore. But he's a tough kid in his own way. You know, he's the definition of a quirky lefty. He's the definition of a lovable kid, of a great teammate. And then somehow it's kind of odd how he gets out there and he's also as much of a competitor as these two guys. So it's been fun to be around him, and it's been really cool to see him kind of evolve as a pitcher each year that he's here too. So that's why I think our guys have faith in him, and I think you guys wrote an article or something, but you can tell our fans kind of take to him like they do Chuck as well, and he's earned that. So certainly a competitor.
All right. Thank you guys.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you.